2011 against Shamrock Rovers. 2002 the last time the Lily Whites won a major trophy. Tick-tock. Well, they've decided to light a fire here on this side of the stadium. The East Stand all ready for this, the first major domestic cup final of the season. Well, many dignitaries here, including Mick Duff, the Deputy Mayor of South Dublin County Council, meeting Stephen Kenny. This, the only major trophy that he has not claimed in his career. Milo Corcoran alongside the Chairman of the Setanta Sports Cup Committee, Graham Byrne of Setanta Sports Television also alongside. And Damien Lynch, this is where the knees will be knocking, because they just want to go out and play in a big cup final.
Yeah, great occasion here, Will. When you look around, a lot of fans here from Dundalk. Atmosphere is really good so far, but from a player's perspective, you just really want the game to start. The first 5 to 10 minutes you're out on the pitch, just standing around, getting cold actually, and all you really want to do is just get the game started and get into the flow of things. But very difficult game ahead of us to say who's going to go on and win the game. Very evenly matched sides, but we're in for a cracker, I think.
Well, Sligo Rovers so successful the past few seasons, league champions 2012. 3 FAI Cups in 4 seasons, the most recent won by Ian Barraclough. All set for the Setanta Sports Cup Final, so let's check the starting sides. A major blow for Sligo Rovers going into the Setanta Sports Cup Final. Captain Alan Keane picking up a thigh injury in last weekend's league draw with St Patrick's Athletic. Danny Ledwith and Kieran Jalali dropped to the bench. So the 3 men in are Seamus Keneally, starting in Keane's right back berth. Danny North, top scorer in the competition this season with 4 goals so far. And Joseph Indo, Sligo captain today, who came off the bench for Shelburne in the first Setanta Sports Cup Final in 2005, and he hasn't featured in one since. Dundalk start with the same 11 that beat Cork City 4-0 to go top of the league. Rory Higgins and Mark Rossiter have won this trophy before. Both are on the bench from the start. Another All-Ireland winner, Stephen O'Donnell, is out with a long-term injury, he thinks, for the season. 23 goals in 11 league games for this Dundalk side so far this season. 7 goals in the last 2 games in the past week. In terms of major medals, Sean Gannon was a league winner with both Shamrock Rovers and last season with St Patrick's Athletic. So can Dundalk bridge the gap? 2002, the last time they won the FAI Cup. 1995, the league. Joseph Indo, that 2005 final, and what a classic it was between Pat Fenlon, Shelburne and Linfield. A photo that may have pride of place at Oriel Park or the showgrounds, and they both have some fantastic historical football pictures on show at either ground. Chris Shields, whose goal so key in getting Dundalk to this final. The only goal in the second leg, the tremendous triumph against Shamrock Rovers. But what a season so far Richie Towell is having. He scored both in the 2-1 victory here away to Shamrock Rovers in the first leg of the semi-final. Our cup final referee is Arnold Hunter from Fermanagh. The assistant on the far side will be Richard Story, Kenneth Ross on the near. Goal line officials, Mervyn Smith on the left, Raven Hetherington on the right, and the 4th official is Stephen Bell. Well, you've been here before, Damien. You've won this before. What's it like in an All-Ireland Cup Final?
It's a great occasion. It is. From a player's point of view, you just really want to be playing in these type of games. The cup finals are everything. I mean, even when you've finished up playing, the memories that come back are from cup finals. You know, to win the Setanta Sports Cup, being All-Ireland champions, it's a fantastic feeling. But from the way it sits in the calendar of the year now, it can really boost the team. So you look at both sides now, if they win this, you can get such momentum from it and go on. and it kind of sends out a statement to everybody else watching to know that someone has won a trophy already. And from a manager's perspective, you have a bit of silverware in the cabinet already, and there's a little bit of pressure taken off, as we all know what life as a manager's like these days. But from a player's perspective, yeah, you just want to play in these games. And looking out there now, the pitch was fantastic. Two great teams facing up against each other here. Really looking forward to it.
Well, Stephen Kenny, speaking to him pre-game, he does realise that this is the only major trophy that he's not actually won before. League winner with Bohemians. Will he be a Setanta Sports Cup winner with Dundalk today? Will this be their first All-Ireland trophy since 1942? Or will Sligo Rovers, in their first Setanta Sports Cup final, claim their first Setanta Sports Cup? Who will shine on the day, win this trophy, make history for the losers? Only teardrops. 4-2-3-1, they're both playing today.
I think, well, when you're looking at both sides lining up here, and normally when we see pre-game, you get be able to say there's someone here who's going to have an advantage and some...
Given away already, horrifically. And there's a massive opening potentially. And the strike just over the top in the end. It fell invitingly to Richie Towell, who's been one of the men of the tournament so far, but Sligo showing jitters early on in this cup final.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that this early. What are we in the first minute? And that's the difference between winning and losing a cup final. The team that settles down the quickest generally goes on to win the game. And I think there is always that little bit of nerves on a cup final day. It is a totally different game from your average league match, and players, it can affect players in different ways.
It is very wet underfoot, but it is a good solid pitch, and a good job's been very well done. They were protecting the pitch so strongly here that it pushed us off our pre-match walkabout about 2 hours before the game. It's been brought forward invitingly by John Mountney. There'll be a bit of slipping and sliding here. We've had 2 or 3 hours of heavy rain. No light after the storm just yet at Tallaght Stadium. It's with Andy Boyle wearing the captain's armband today for Dundalk. 1942, the previous All-Ireland trophy for the Lily Whites. They beat Shamrock Rovers 1-0 to win the Intercity Cup. Beaten by them the previous season in the first final.
Gaynor just leaving one on, being in there, just let him know around the halfway line early on in the game. It's going to be a good battle that today between the two of them. But all over the park, well, as I was saying, it's very hard. Like, it's Joseph and Doe in the middle of the park, he's the match winner. Then you've got Richie Towell in there as well, going up against them. Chris Shields will be sort of man-marking Joseph and Doe for a lot of the game today. But all over the park, such evenly balanced sides, and it's very hard to call who'll come out on top.
The Sligo Rovers have very much been the cup specialists, but Stephen Kenny with the major amount of trophies in the cabinet throughout his entire career. Suddenly the throw's gone the other way. Seamus Keneally will be the taker in place of the ever powerful Alan Keane today. He's made that position his own so effectively, so well for the 6 seasons he's been here. Moving forward, John Mountney for Dundalk. Darryl Hogan on this near side. It was well covered by Evan McMillan.
You see Chris Shields there. As soon as Joseph Dow gets the ball, he's tight. Good challenge there, and Dundalk broke very well.
It's just about kept in play. If we're wondering what the other tram line is, just inside the touch line. That's where the line was for the women's internationals in the past week against Germany and Russia. Dane Massey got the cross in. It's found Chris Shields. Horgan held it up well, chanced the cross. Wasn't a bad one either. McMillan with that head away, but it's only come to Richie Towell. And the flag stayed down on the far side, but referee Arnold Hunter has called that as offside himself, and it looked just about right. The flag from Richard Story stayed down. all IFA officials for this Setanta Sports Cup Final today, which yet again is an all League of Ireland affair. William Barraclough has had Wembley finals and Millennium Stadium finals. Been very successful. Now, likewise, as a manager in Ireland. Won the league in his first season, here is Cup in the second, and here's an opening for Danny North. Good claim, Peter Cherry. What a season Danny North is having, 4 goals so far.
Just a little clip over the top here, North's on his bike. Keeper does very well to come out and claim that. Just skids off the surface as well. Anything over the top today will slide through to the goalkeeper, run out of play. So I don't think that's possibly the best ball, but good one early on just to throw it over the top.
Solid header by Boyle for Dundalk and straight out. Well, big call up for Seamus Keneally, but he'd have known through the week more or less that Alan Keane wouldn't have made it. Both sides with major injuries coming into this cup final. Alan Keane for Sligo Rovers, Stephen O'Donnell sitting it out and watching also. Way by Cherry. Launched for Richie Towell again, but couldn't find.
I think the conditions are going to play a factor here today. There's a very strong wind coming in from left to right here, and even there when you see the keeper kicking up, Cherry kicking that out there, the ball's moving. The gainer can't really take a touch on it, just puts it out for the throw in. But as the game progresses, if the wind gets worse, it's very blustery, it could really have an impact.
Towell opening the door, Horgan almost got the finish, side netting instead with Rogers beaten.
Horgan's had a lot of the ball in the first 6.5 minutes. He's got on a few times here. Just opens up here, Tell does well. Plays the ball out to the open side of the pitch. And you can see what he's trying to do. He's actually trying for the far corner there, but he doesn't catch it quite right. He's trying to bend that into the outside post there. Doesn't catch it right and just nearly catches the keeper out at the front post. But a half decent effort to start the game.
He's only played one major cup final before, 2011 League Cup Final, where Hawksey were beaten. Dundalk side. Derry side, capably managed by Stephen Kenny. Way by Ross Gaynor. Well, the wind is picking up even further, even if the rain is abated for now. That's too strong for Danny North. Both sides still trying to feel themselves out. It's John Russell who marginally overplayed it. Conditions have not helped the occasion so far. It might be helping Dundalk. They've put the greatest pressure on.
Neither side has really settled down so far. Still feel each other out, trying to get used to the game, see what sort of formations teams are playing. But I think Mountney is going to play a very important role today. He's playing further up to give that Hoban a bit of support. And I think at times he's such an athlete, he can get up and down the pitch just very quickly. He's probably one of the fittest players in the league at the moment, I'd say. And I think he's going to play a really important part today to give Hoban that little bit of support up top for Dundalk.
Controlled by Darren Meenan. made a big impact so far this season in the 11 league games, with Dundalk top of the pile. A tremendous run that they've enjoyed of late, just one loss in the last 14. It's going to be a Dundalk ball too.
Meenan does well here, just opens his legs up, tries to whip it in, and it's actually a free kick I think the ref has given against Gaynor for a late tackle there. But really good play by him. He gets on it aggressively in the first few minutes, getting at your fullback. You can really worry your fullback early on in the game if you do that. Great chance here.
Delivered deeply, and Andy Boyle got the flick on, but with no further arrival. It was a good opportunity. It was a fine, deep free kick.
Half decent ball in, probably not enough pace on it. Very difficult for people to get their head on and put a bit of power to direct it, but good defending in the end by Sligo.
Back header by Paul O'Connor. It's in the Drogheda side, beaten in last season's decider by Shamrock Rovers, though really with the final scoreline beaten doesn't quite describe it. Foul on Russell, free kick for Sligo Rovers just as progress was about to be made.
It's really good pressing by Dundalk though. They're sitting off at times and then they all decide to close down in a group, and they're not really giving Sligo any time on the ball in the important parts of the pitch.
Spread forward again invitingly by Seamus Keneally, but again just a bit too strong. Well, there's no denying that a very strong wind in Tallaght today. We all know how open the stadium is. Certainly playing a big impact in this cup final, but so too to that interception by Paul O'Connor. It's a big opening here for Aaron Green. It'll be a corner kick. Very well intercepted by Paul O'Connor, and he was tackled after the ball was gone, but play was allowed to continue.
Boyle just takes a really heavy touch there, and did the referee book him for that? He should have really booked him for that there. I didn't see the card come out, but it's a really good chance from them. O'Connor does well just to break in, plays it off the green, and Green creates a bit of space, has a shot.
Joseph Ndoh with the short corner. It's a very successful one. It's Ross Gaynor's strike. Couldn't get any further progress, but Sligo for the first time in this cup final beginning to land good forays into Dundalk's third. Evan McMillan. Short for Russell, and he's been fouled this time by Meenan. And it's a very quickly taken free kick, astutely by David Cawley. Here's Green cutting down the right-hand side. Great ball by Green! He's been put home! O'Connor! Sligo are in front a dozen minutes into the cup final. Well, they've won everything else the past 4 or 5 years, and now they're in pole position here.
Great thinking, quick thinking there, plays out to Green, he just drops his shoulder here, Massey puts his 2 square on, delivers a great ball into the box, and what a finish from O'Connor. He just hits it with his back leg into the goal, and it's a fantastic finish, but a really, really good goal. And it's just the last couple of minutes they start progressing into the Dundalk half. Really stupid free kick from Shields, and I think the Dundalk players, they're getting really tight at times, which is fine, but if you're just that little bit too much and you give away a free kick in dangerous areas, you can really get punished there. Full credit to Sligo getting the ball down, taking a quick free kick, and a fantastic goal.
Paul O'Connor's third all-time Setanta Sports Cup goal, and it's the lead for Sligo Rovers in the 2014 edition. What a brilliant finish. Excellent flick at the near post. Sligo 1, Dundalk 0, and now the rain really is beginning to bucket down in Tallaght now. Towell tried the quick one, but it was well intercepted, well spotted by Ross Gaynor. Great shot by Horgan, and launched up towards the edge of the area where Patrick Hoban was again lurking. They've been tremendously proficient in front of goal pretty much since their visit to Coleraine of Dundalk. They barely looked back. 1 defeat in 14. And the cross required that time though.
Well, And I think they just need to stay calm now, Dundalk. Obviously, first 14 minutes they've conceded a goal. It's not gone to plan. But you don't want to let the occasion get on top of you here now when you start panicking and thinking you're going to be losing the game. You just need to stay doing what you do well. Pass the ball, get Towell on the ball, get Mounty on the ball in dangerous areas, and they will get chances today.
Short by Keneally. Well, it was their first realistic attack in the game, and a marvellous conversion which has sent those who've come down from the northwest today in fine spirits. Dogs fans mainly on this near side had the volume highest, not so much now. That might change. It's a very astute ball. Meenan being forced wide by Gaynor, but Meenan's on the run. He's got two waiting in the middle. It'll be a corner kick, and the Lily White attacks begin again.
Absolutely brilliant play there by Aaron Green. The distance he covered to make up. Meenan had beaten Gaynor there. Could have put a great ball into the box there, but Green made up about 40 yards to block it. Absolutely fantastic play, defending.
No progress with the corner kick for Dundalk this time. Launched forward by Gannon, and that's out. Immediately signalled by Richard Story over on the far side.
Good line from Sligo there. Meenan shouldn't really get caught offside with that. Looking across, he should be able to see that and just take a foot back.
Arnold Hunter refereeing a Setanta Sports Cup Final for the first time, having previously been in the middle for Irish Cup and League Cup finals up north. Well, Dundalk having to get themselves back into the game, and they've got themselves up on top. Will have to perform for the time being without Stephen O'Donnell. Unfortunate injury picked up lately. Talking to him before the match, he doesn't see himself being back in the next 6 months. It was Keith Ward sitting alongside him, by the way, who's not in the match day panel for this cup final. Cut out by Boyle. It was imprecisely. Corley with the cut out. Here's Ndo. Russell. Excellent ball. Wide for Green. Good attack. Cut out by Boyle. It was a real rat-a-tat-tat attack for Sligo that put them in front. Very swift. And Dundalk were very much cut out. Well, they had a chance of a break there, but it was denied by the whistle of Arnold Hunter in awarding them a free kick. One dead ball they didn't appreciate.
Decent little 1-2 there. Towell opens up his legs, knocks to the other side, and referee calls him back. Disappointing. You probably should have let him go there, because there was a real chance for him to break into the other half, and they had players forward.
Cut out by Danny North. Gartland in the way. Big weekend of football. We're with you all the way tomorrow, live and highlights of the final day of the Premier League. But in the final day of the Setanta Sports Cup, it's Stephen Kenny, who's never won this trophy, trying to turn things around his way. No. Good ball into the middle for Russell. He was found by Green, and the final strike was skewed by O'Connor.
Since the goal has gone in, Sligo's really gone in confidence, getting on the ball, getting into good areas. Joseph Doe's looking for the ball at every chance he can get, and he's actually creating a few opportunities for his teammates around him. It's been a good last 10 minutes for Sligo.
Cherry with the launch away. really made his name in the Scottish Cup, as we often refer to. Played in Clyde's famous cup win over Celtic, Roy Keane's debut for the boys. Last touch, off and go. Again, has won just about everything in the game domestically. Doe just losing control. The man who's won the league title 4 times and the FAI Cup 3 times and the League Cup twice, Sligo, and Bohemians in 09 down at the RSC in Waterford. 3-1 victory. Well medalled, but again he doesn't have one of these. It'll be a good day for the Macmillan household, either for Evan of Sligo or David, who's on the bench for Dundalk today. Good flick, header by Hoban, marvellous header, and almost a leveller for Dundalk. Man who's already been well among the goals this season.
Great effort from Hoban there. Done exceptionally well to put some direction on that, because it's actually just coming from behind him. Managed to get his head around the ball. It's a decent ball in from Shields as well, and he's very unlucky not to put that in the bottom left-hand corner.
Sent forward by Keneally. Good swift pass by O'Connor towards Russell on this near side. Cross easily cut out by Andy Boyle, the former Ireland under-17 international. Macmillan with the last touch. Dundalk throw. It's been, due to the wet conditions, a game of occasional miscue. Be a red ball this time. Might fall for Towell, did fall for Towell. His touch was too strong. Chris Shields. His first ever goal in the competition was the tie clincher against Shamrock Rovers in the semi-final. Aimed that just a mite too long for Mountney, who was offside.
Decent play though. They're trying to get on and trying to get Towell on the ball. Mountney's making them runs in behind as well. Just caught off that offside that time. Like I said earlier on, they need to just stay calm, keep getting on the ball, keep passing it. Massey's getting on the ball here at left back. I think he needs to try to get forward a little bit more, because he's such a threat in the last third, putting decent balls into the box.
Getting the kick out from Harry Rogers, drifted away in the breeze. North, the only man in an advanced position realistically for Sligo, had Russell attempting to peel off him, but it's Dundalk who've got possession. Mountney making his way up, support from Meenan, couldn't complete the 1-2. It's not really a day where they've needed to water the pitch. Lashing an occasion throughout this Saturday morning. Corley. Well, Sligo lead by a goal to nil. The club captain Alan Keane watching on. Well, watching down for the time being, but he will be watching on once he sends that text. Henderson couldn't get it far for Towell. two of the key men out of this cup final in that one shot there. Dundalk with the free kick.
I think that's the third Fowler Gaynor has done in the first 25 minutes here. He's lucky he's not on the card for continuous fouling. There's no need for it either, really. He just comes in here. There's not much in it, I'll say that. But yeah, in fairness to him, it probably shouldn't have gone against him.
And again by Shields, just beyond Mountney again. Pressure was really on Rodgers to get there first and get it away. Really is a strong breeze which is gusting up around here at Tallaght Stadium, which is probably coming across in the effects mics. Made it difficult to control. Towell's short free kick for Horgan now. Mountney, good touch, but not from Massey. What a glorious goal-scoring opportunity for Dundalk to get a leveller, and Dane Massey. He's never scored in this competition, but got a big winning goal against Sligo last season on the road. Couldn't finish here.
Decent play there, good build up, nice little intricate pass into Hoban, who flicks around the corner. Mountney then lays it off, and Massey falls to him, and he strikes it probably with his wrong foot. If it falls on his left foot, there's every chance he's going to hit the target with it, but not as strong a side. But that's better again for Dundalk. Got a free kick, didn't take their time. They put their hand on, moved the ball quickly, and I think they need to do that a little bit more. At the moment, everything is in front of Sligo, and they just need to get one or two players in behind and mix it up just that little bit more, because it's a little bit predictable.
Liam Barclough, Sligo, a goal to the good. Still looking to copper fasten the advantage. Massey. Morgan just outside the area, had support from Towell alongside. It's Meenan now. Horgan surrounded by red shirts. Richie Towell had a crack, very good try, and Rodgers got down immensely well to deny the former Celtic playmaker.
Decent effort out there. Horgan's getting on the ball a lot more, just plays it off the towel, he strikes it, and it's a good shot, particularly with the conditions today. If that had just bounced in front of the keeper, it would have given him an awful lot of trouble. But Rodgers does well to hold on to it.
Sligo now have the free kick, and have been a succession of dead balls in the game, but no cards yet in this cup final.
Ball there from Green, comes down on his back. Cannon just leans into him and lets him fall off. It's quite dangerous that when you're up in the air and the defender just leans in and you end up losing your footing altogether when you come down. He fell very heavily there.
Well, Richie Towell's strike from a good distance out. And his 2 goals here in his last visit to this stadium. Built the foundation to get Dundalk into their second Setanta Sports Cup Final. See, Banana Man's arrived.
Fantastic crowd here from the Dundalk today, Will. I think there's nearly 2,000 people travelled.
Gary Stevens just behind, who will presumably be keeping an eye on Brighton's playoff chances. Played for them in the 1983 FA Cup Final before his move to Tottenham, and now in the Northwest with Ian Barraclough. Sligo fans haven't stopped since they went in front. And still and no. And then a Dundalk throw. They labour it. It's a quick one from Towell. It's too quick. And I think Arnold Hunter is overruled. And Stephen Kenny is apoplectic.
Joseph just staying on the ball here. He does that a lot. Leaves it short there. It's a decent tackle. Is it? Did they give it the other way, or is that he didn't take the throw in the right area?
Well, it was certainly signalled by Richard Story as a Dundalk throw. And it's only a foul throw where it would be conceded, and it didn't look like one to me. I think it was an overall. North. Russell in support, only really O'Connor waiting in the middle. O'Connor's had to come back, short for McMillan. Given away again, and here goes Mountney on the run. And it was covered in the end by Henderson, who saw him coming but just about in time. Two managers in their early 40s, and Stephen Kenny actually is the younger of the two, even if it feels like he's been around forever, which mainly is because he has been. Took over charge of Longford Town 16 years ago, at the age of 26. He's still here, still winning trophies, still in cup finals. North had been kept in. Keneally. Very well won by Darryl Horgan. Long move up from Cork City to Dundalk, and Cork where he'd really made his name, but he's making his name and adding to it at Dundalk supremely. Mina's cross, excellent. Back heel away by Evan McMillan. And towel denied by O'Connor's quick thinking.
Great bit of play down there from Dundalk though. Horgan closing down, playing the ball out to the open side of the pitch. Tell does a good one too, and Meenan gets into the box, but overall really good play, moving the ball very well. Dundalk getting a lot of joy out on the right hand side there. Meenan getting on the ball. I think he's got the winning gainer at the moment. They need to get the ball out to him as much as possible, because I do think he can create chances.
North trying to make a break down the middle. Got in between Boyle and Gartland and was given the time. Quick ball across by Green. They had a chance of catching Dundalk on the hop but didn't capitalise. And neither did the Lily Whites when it was their turn.
Chris Shields just trying to force it there instead of playing into his feet, or even staying on the ball and probably carrying it. I think that's one thing that when you look at Dundalk at times, that they do support him quite a lot, but Hoban is quite isolated when they win the ball and when it goes up to him, and they really need to get bodies up there, and overall they generally do that, but at times they kind of need to maybe push Mountney on that little bit further, so that when he's up there there's someone else to aim for.
Treatment will be needed for Joseph N'Doh here. He's been in the domestic game 12 years now, and he's won just about everything everywhere apart from this. Still Sligo fans, best humour. Worries for Ian Barraclough as to whether Joseph N'Doh can continue or not. They do have a strong bench. Each stand on this main side is just about entirely full. Nobody wants to sit at the front and get wet. You wouldn't blame them. Well, that's it. Joseph N'Doh makes his way into the dugout, and that's the end of his cup final. 34 minutes in, so he's still in his second Setanta Sports Cup Final. Won't have a 90-minute one, and he has gone off, and Danny Ledwith is on. Shamrock Rovers last season, Sligo Rovers this, and he did win this trophy last year in the 7-1 trouncing of Drogheda United. Mick Cook guided the Louth outfit to all three domestic deciders, having steered them to second place this season before in the league. Ledwith on and Doe off. How big a blow that might be.
Huge blow. Joseph, once he's on the pitch, he's such a threat to teams. He actually occupies 2 and 3 players at a time, people worrying about him, and he takes up good positions. And he was the key to them doing so well early on in the game. He was getting on the ball, and he was putting it into areas and really causing trouble for Dundalk. So he's a massive loss for him going off so early.
Danny Ledwith will have an early contribution to this cup final. Swung the free kick in. A little back flick from O'Connor, but nobody else around to help. And Dundalk will have the free kick.
Very stop-start at times, a lot of free kicks. The ref's been a little bit picky at times. A couple of breaks he could have let go. Will, you're shrugging happy there. Should have.
It's a calf injury for Joseph Doe that ends his spot in the decider. The thigh injury denying their first choice skipper Alan Keane. Mountney's cross is cut out by Henderson. There's Horgan, excellent ball wide, Meenan with a chance to cross. Rogers with the safe hands again.
Decent play again by Horgan, getting on the ball, and he's been a key. At times he's getting on the ball, creating things, and Meenan gets the ball in there. Gary Rogers does very well to come out and claim it. But I think both wide players for Dundalk is where the success will be for them today. If they can get the wide players on the ball as often as possible, they have created some chances, and they will create more.
Nearly got the foot in, it was important. But Green couldn't locate O'Connor. Green had a chance to spread it wide to Russell. And Danny North has the captain's armband now. No and Doe, no Keane. Keneally has support from Russell wide, straight out. It's another blow for Sligo Rovers in this final. Stephen Kenny's Dundalk trying to make sure it doesn't rain on their big day. But Joseph Doe will play no further part, unless he's given the cup at the end of the day.
It's a decent ball there from the fullback, just up the line. The way that Dundalk set up, if you can just play the balls in over the fullback's head, the centre-backs have pulled out of position, and Danny North's great at picking up them sort of runs out on the left-hand side, just up the line, and one good throw in there for them.
As you might have noticed, it's raining again. Rogers launching long, but once more too long. Might be perfect for Russell. The header by Boyle was ineffective. North, chance to backhill. Trying to get things moving from Gaynor again. Ledwith. Back header by North. It's getting even heavier, the rain. Green. And a chance to launch Keneally now down the right-hand side. Yet again with Aaron Green. Won this trophy back in 2010 with Bohemians, though 1-0 win here. And the little flick header in the end was just what the doctor didn't order for Sligo Rovers.
Conditions are horrendous though, aren't they, Will, when you look at that rain? From a player's perspective as well, the driving rain like that, you're worried about the conditions under your feet. Have you got the right boots on?
Sligo mounting the pressure again. A little back flick by O'Connor was too much. Towel, the target. Horgan. Meenan now. Well, he shrugged off the challenge of Russell effectively well in the first time cross. Marvellous by Massey! Superbly in the centre. And the dramatic diving header by Hoban. Only marginally off target.
Meenan does fantastic middle of the park, shows some great strength, lays it out to Massey, a decent ball in, and Hoban's very unlucky again. It's another difficult header for him. It's coming just behind him. He does exceptionally well to angle his body right to get his head on it, and just wide of the post. Very unlucky.
A similar cup final header from Keith Houghton many moons ago found the target. I think summer soccer would be a good idea. We tend to get the soccer, just not the summer. Ledwith. Corley. It's Green making his way forward. And North slipped as he put the cross in. I don't know if conditions could get any worse. Here's Richie Towell. Keneally in the way. Good interception. Found McMillan. 10th of May was the date Liverpool did the double. Won the FA Cup final, beat Everton. Late sunshine that day. We don't. Managed to get it wide to Gaynor. Ledwith has taken up at times a wide role since replacing Ndo.
Rain keeps up, Will. You'd be worried about the pitch at this stage. I know it's a fantastic pitch and it generally does withstand some heavy rain, but even when you see the players passing the ball there, it's just the odd little puddle starting to form in certain areas. Sunny in 2 minutes though.
No, it won't. Sligo Rovers have the free kick. Aim for Danny North was well covered by Gartland and quickly away. North can't go for it, be offside. But it was well covered by Danny Ledwith in the way, and Brian Gartland couldn't do much with it. North on the ball. Ledwith, powerful cross. Green was up, almost got there too. Russell was lurking around the centre also. This is David Corley, and Corley slipped, and we're beginning to get puddles on the pitch. Aim forward for Hoban here. Needs the cavalry to arrive. Mapney couldn't be found in the middle. O'Connor covered him well.
It was a great break that there. Just didn't find Mountney with the pass. He could have played it actually a little bit further forward and he would have got onto it, but just a little overhit. A really good chance there for Dundalk to break and possibly score.
You could probably see the splashes for yourself. And that's only really come in the last 2 hours.
And as both sides like to pass it around the back as well, that's where you're starting to worry. Full back playing into a centre back and hits a puddle and the ball stops, and it nearly happened just there.
At 2 o'clock the pitch was bone dry. Not anymore. north, having to come very deep, and the chip on Shields yields the free kick for Dundalk. Meenan won it well in the centre. Towell was in support, but he ploughed his own furrow. We'll have 2 added minutes at the end of the first half. The cross by Horgan had 3 to aim for in the middle, found none. Boyle and Gartland almost got their wires crossed, but not the right communication in the end.
Hasn't been too much between the sides. Obviously a really good goal from Sligo early on, quick thinking, and a couple of times in the half they've done a quick throw in, and they've just made that been that little bit sharper sort of in the last third. I think Dundalk have done okay, haven't really threatened. A couple of headers from Hoban, but there hasn't really been too much other than that. You wonder, will Stephen Kenny start looking at changing things, possibly looking at bringing on Macmillan up top, or I do think they'll need a little bit more support if it stays a 1-0 up front.
Too long by Gaynor for Danny Ledwith in the end. It'll be a red ball. One throw by Paul O'Connor, who's previous cup final record, played 3, lost 3 all last year. It's the one season at Drogheda before moving west. Has been a league winner before, Stephen Kenny. 2003 at Bohemians. Massively successful as a cup manager, finally making it through to this decider for the first time. Keneally cut inside well, he's got plenty of support, might have actually had a chance to take the shot on himself, elected not to. Dundalk with a chance to break. Towell and Hoban didn't make the break. Well covered by Macmillan. It's half time. Dundalk had the chance to finish this half in a high and on terms, but it's Ian Barraclough's Sligo Rovers who have the advantage at the interval. Paul O'Connor's goal after 12 minutes, his first of the competition, his third all time. A lovely little flick at the near post means half time in the 2014 Setanta Sports Cup Final. It's Sligo Rovers 1, Dundalk 0. And the boys in the dry will have all of half-time to assess the previous 45 when we return.
Right, cheers.
I'll just get confirmation, lads. It looks like 2 pieces of analysis, so the goal and then Dundalk chances. So I'm guessing with the Dundalk chances we'll have Horgan shot, side netting, Patrick Hoban's first header.
2 headers.
Yeah, it's 2 headers. Sligo goal. Probably Massey's shot over.
It's the foul. This goes in the back. Was that Russell? Was it Russell? It's been easy. Russell played the ball, I think, wasn't it? Was it Russell? Yeah, you see it now, there.
grand. And I'm going to go straight to the lads then. I'm not going to address camera. All right? Yeah. And
Back in 1 minute.
okay. Well, Paul O'Connor was on the losing side with Drogheda in last year's Setanta Sports Cup Final, but his goal has put Sligo 1-0 up in this year's decider against Dundalk here at Tallaght Stadium. So 1-0 to Sligo Rovers. Brian, would you say they're fortunate to be ahead?
I don't think they've played particularly well. They got a very good goal, but it was generally against the run they played. Dundalk had more possession, looked more threatening, and had more clear-cut chances. But they made hay when they got that one opportunity. Slack concentration on the part of Dundalk defensively, having given away the free kick. But a very good goal, good pass, and a nice finish by Paul O'Connor. But I don't think Dundalk would be too upset with how they've played, although they adjusted their formation with Mountney playing off the front, and I don't think that's really suited them.
We'll have a look at those Dundalk chances in a minute, but Pat, talk us through the Sligo goal. It came after 12 minutes, and as Brian says, it came from that foul by Chris Shields initially.
Yeah, it's a poor free to give away. It just bumps into the back of him, puts him down. But the problem here with Dundalk is they all turn their back on the ball. You see them turn their back on the ball, they put it down. I think it's Russell, clever ball into Aaron Green, who does really well, gets to the end line, puts in a fantastic cross and a tidy finish from O'Connor.
And it was actually Shields was the one who fouled and turned away. Watch now, look, he's having a look at the referee. Now he's walking back, face his own goal, can't see the ball, and it's his man, Paul O'Connor, who scores the goal.
And it's the one thing you're all taught, isn't it, as footballers, don't turn your back on the ball.
Yeah, particularly in a dangerous area like that, you get someone over the ball, you manage them all the time, you give away in there, make sure the closest the ball gets over, don't let a quick one be taken. But in fairness to the Sligo players, Russell was quick brain, put it down, played it. Aaron Green did it really well. Great ball in, bit of pace, and a good finish from O'Connor. Yeah,
and Dundalk have got down, particularly the right hand side, a lot through Darren Meenan in the first half. We'll have a look at their chances, but I think the first one came through Darrell Horgan fairly early on, and it was a decent enough chance.
Yeah, well, Jeff Henderson, I think the centre back made the initial mistake. But here, there's a lot of space and time. He really should have been getting that one on target. But that was early moments, early time. But this is better by Dundalk. Good, brisk passing, seeing the player in space, but not a good finish from Horgan. As I said in the commentary, probably trying for the far post. That was a good ball in from Shields, a header. And this was, again, very good constructive play. Nice combination and link. But what a chance.
Just fell on the wrong foot for Dane Massey.
That was a pure effort. That was the clearest chance of the match.
Yeah, I think Meenan has caused Sligo a lot of problems. Again, this one they pick up the ball and you get it out wide again. That's him there. Meenan's come in off the line, gets it out wide to Massey, I think, and he puts in a decent enough cross. Difficult header for Horgan as well, has to get around Archer's back to it. Just got up there, it'd been a fantastic goal. It was a fantastic effort. If we had it got on target, it'd have been a great goal.
Yeah, from a Dundalk point of view, what will Stephen Kenny be saying at half time? Brian, will he say more of the same, just keep doing what you're doing, the goal will come?
Yeah, as Damien said in commentary, they probably need to get a little bit more support to Hoban a bit quicker, but very dangerous in the flank positions, and Towell being the most influential player in the match so far.
Okay, so it's 1-0 to Sligo Rovers at half time here at Tallaght Stadium. Ian Barraclough and Stephen Kenny, of course, the two managers today. Which manager will get their hands on the Setanta Sports Cup? That question will be answered after the break. live at 12:55 on Setanta Ireland is the Spanish Grand Prix. Then it's final day Premier League drama as Norwich host Arsenal from 2:30 on Setanta 1. And at 10 o'clock, the first place to see all the highlights from the final day, it's Premier League Central. Okay. It's a big day of sport tomorrow on Setanta. Live at 12:55 on Setanta Ireland is the Spanish Grand Prix. Then it's final day Premier League drama as Norwich host Arsenal from 2:30. That's on Setanta 1. And at 10 o'clock, the first place to see all the highlights from the final day, it's Premier League Central. Here at Tallaght Stadium, it's half-time in the Setanta Sports Cup Final. It's Sligo Rovers leading by a goal to nil. Pat, we saw Sligo losing Joey and Doe after 34 minutes. How significant has his loss been to Sligo, and perhaps could be in the second half, particularly if they're still hanging on?
Yeah, he's a big loss to them because what he does, he takes the ball, Joe, in dangerous areas. But what the change has been different because they put Aaron Green in there. I thought Russell might went there and Aaron Green went wide, but what Aaron Green will give Dundalk a different problem because he'll get beyond Danny North where Joseph would try play in front. So I'll be interested to see how they deal with that.
Just a word on the weather as well, Brian. We've had some heavy downpours here at Tallaght Stadium. We've seen the groundsmen out with the pitchforks, and the pitch has just slowed down a good bit in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And that's the first
well, there was a little bit of water starting to hold here and there, a few puddles, and we saw some clashes for the ball where there's a lot of water flying in the air. But look, it seems to have eased off a bit, and hopefully it'll drain away and not cause any incidents where there's a pass played and it sticks in the water. But look, I think the game is still very finely balanced. Sligo will be happy enough. They haven't played that well, but they've scored a very good goal and they've looked a bit of a threat. I think Pat's right about Aaron Green. His mobility now will be better than Joseph, and he'll find space in that central position where he was limited out on the left flank. But Dundalk have still they've got Curtis Borncard and Macmillan that they can still bring on, who would add a little bit to the front line if they don't get the goal they need to get back into the match.
Yeah, from Ian Barraclough's point of view, leading by a goal to nil, and as Brian says, he won't be unhappy with that first half. What do you think he'd be looking to maybe change or improve on in the second half, Pat?
I think he'd be looking to retain that ball a little bit better. I don't think particularly at the start again, the back four get the ball away very cheaply. Ross Gainer's got a bit of a hard time from in, so they'll need to tighten up on that side. Ledwith is more a defender, so he's gone on that side as well, so you think that would help. I don't think Dundalk need to panic neither, because they played okay, you know, make changes for the sake of changes, but the front three have caused Sligo problems. Late in the game they may have to throw the kitchen sink at it, but as Brian says, they've got good options on the bench as well, but it should be an interesting second half.
Okay, thanks lads. Back over to our commentary team with Damien Lynch, and first again Will Dowling.
Yes, 1-0 to Sligo Rovers at half-time. Sligo, having lost 3 captains, Gavin Pearce has been out since the FAI Cup Final last year. Alan Keane's supposed to wear the armband today. Didn't start the Cup Final. Joseph and Doe going off before half-time, and now Danny North with the armband. Stephen Kenny bids for his first Setanta Sports Cup as well as Dundalk's. Dundalk a goal to the bad. Resume in this second half, extra time and penalties if needed.
The good news, Will, is brightening up out there. There's no rain and looks like the puddles have sort of subsided. That doesn't look like we're going to have any issues there, hopefully.
Don't talk too soon. Right now it is the calm after the storm. Sun is finally coming out. Little flick on by Meenan, but will it shine for Dundalk here? Ledwith pushing it forward. This is Green.
It'd be interesting to see what Stephen Kenny does if it stays at the current scoreline. I think, as the lad said in the studio, similar to what we were saying in the first half, there's no need to panic here. They are doing well. If they can get their wide players in the ball, Mean in particular is getting a lot of joy on the right hand side, and I think on the other side Horgan's getting on the ball and doing extremely well as well. The only thing that I worry about is they're a little bit isolated up the middle sometimes, and Mountney struggles in that position at the moment. It's not his natural position to play up that far forward, and I think normally he's running onto the ball rather than playing up so high. So interested to see the Stephen change that after a while if things don't change in terms of scoreline.
Same 11s start the second half as end of the first. That one change for Sligo Rovers. Danny Ledwith coming in after 34 minutes for Joseph and Doe. Shields. It's an aerial battle which Macmillan lost. There's a big opening there for Horgan, but he couldn't find a way through.
Great tackle by Henderson there coming across. Did exceptionally well. Horgan looked like he was about to have a strike. Came across and fantastic challenge.
Macmillan managed to sky it onwards, and it got a good flick on from Green. Rain's abated, the wind's picking up again. Can't have it both ways. Mountney's been brought down, the foul by Henderson. It's been calmly officiated by Arnold Hunter, no cards yet. 47 minutes into this cup final.
Just clips his ankle there. Look, normally you'd see the yellow card come out for that. It's a bit of a cynical challenge. Not much in it, like it's not like it's going to be a bad injury or anything, but normally referees are giving out cards for them type of tackles these days.
Tame downward header by Hope, and what a chance that was, set up by Towell's free kick. Needed a lot more behind it.
Yeah, Hoban goes for the ball. I think Gartland thinks he was going to get on it, and if Hoban had actually reacted off the Gartland header, or vice versa, Gartland had reacted off Hoban's header, there was a good chance there, but didn't get enough power on it in the end.
Johnny Russell, who won the cup twice for Sligo during his first spell with the club, won the league title with Pats.
Morgan just picks that up there. It's a decent tackle coming across. Good cover there.
Quite a lot of spray coming up when he made impact with the turf. It was a great challenge considering the underfoot conditions. There's plenty unable right now to keep their feet. Here's Ledwith. Free kick. Mountney brought down, and that will be the first yellow card of the cup final. It's an inviting position. It was David Corley's challenge and David Corley's booking.
It was actually a sloppy ball by Ledwith, playing it back into Corley there, and he just stretches his leg out. He probably should have just left it. Just leaves him short here. Good closing down. Just sticks his leg out, and yellow card for that. Pretty much the exact same position here where Sligo scored it from the quick free kick in the first half.
Meenan over it, Towell alongside. And 6 on the edge of the area. Towell trying to make a move behind the two-man wall. Meenan played it in, and he never really got behind that properly. I think there was a minor slip just as he was making contact in it. Sprayed off his boot. It's away by Henderson. Up by Meenan again. Russell couldn't get behind that at all, and might have been caught late by Towell. Didn't fall for Hoban that time. Decent downward header by Massey, but it's not really a day where anybody can get behind the ball at all. North. Good layoff for O'Connor. And what an excellent challenge by Shields. He's found Daryl Horgan. And to get tackles like that right on a day like this, extra effort, extra precision. Because we can see, just as we did there, how everything can go wrong. Well timed.
Great tackle there. Great show, great athleticism as well. He's about 4 yards behind them. And he just puts in a decent challenge there and starts him off on an attack again. Shields getting around. He covers an awful lot of grass there. He's very athletic, and he's doing a good job in front of the back four for Dundalk.
It's played really right between Mountney and Hoban in the end by Darren Meenan. The only previous cup final was a losing one for St Patrick's Athletic, 2012. It's another free kick. I think the patience has run out. He was tempted. Certainly the hand was heading towards the pocket for Arnold Hunter.
Russell does very well there, opens his legs up, and Horgan's tracking back with him. Just doesn't get the ball, slides down, and it is a free kick. And as we said already, Will, I'm surprised there's no yellow card there, given the way referees give them out these days. Great area here for a decent free kick in.
Sligo a goal to the good. 12 minutes into the first half when they got the breakthrough. Good chance on the free kick, flashed across goal, came off one of those Dundalk heads. It will be a Sligo throw in this near side.
Just not enough elevation, and it just plays in a little bit flat there. I think Boyle puts his head on and puts it out for a throw in. Average enough ball in. Great opportunity there to really get a second.
Evaded Gaynor, who elected wouldn't have the chance to go for it cleanly. It's a good little flick by Hoban to get the door open again for Mountney. Mountney, I'm sure, thought he'd been fouled, but it's a throw for Sligo.
Fantastic defending there by McMillan.
Cross by O'Connor again, bit of space for Danny North. Chance to spread it wide, and Russell. 3 waiting in the middle. Russell didn't use any of them in the end, and that almost linked in. Cherry got down late, but got there in the end.
Russell just stays on, comes inside here, but she hasn't done much today. And it's a fairly tame effort in the end, but nearly caught Cherry out at the front post.
Mountney denied by Gaynor, but both defences getting well stretched now. Good throw for Sean Gannon. Mountney's in here, Mountney's onside, and it's gone out for a throw.
Fantastic ball in by Gannon there, wasn't it? Mountney was only 10 yards out. Decent ball in, just puts his head up, plays it inside. Mountney just needs to just compose himself, and I think the less said about the rest of it, the better, I think.
I think he would like it that way.
Great opportunity though for him. He's only 10 yards out. He either hit the target or else he could have found someone in. There was a player free in the 12 yards out in the penalty spot there.
Shields has gone lame for the moment. He's limped away. Meenan will break through. Gannon tried to force it through towards Mountney again, whose last major cup final was the Kennedy Shield. He won that for Mayo in 2007. Super League winner with Ballina in 2010. Moved down to Merview, and the rest is history. Richie Towell. Meenan again. Towell with a chance to run onto it. Mountney has it at his feet. There's Daryl Horgan. Won't have a chance to get the shot away at all. Danny North is the only man in any way forward for Sligo right now, and it doesn't matter anyway because they have the free kick. It was a thought of taking it quickly. How they caught Dundalk out for the goal. Decided to take a deep breath instead.
Decent play by Dundalk there. Nice ball in from Meenan, and Mountney just takes us too long on it there. Let's the Sligo players get back around, and Massey's coming up on the left hand side there, which Horgan should have just played him in. It would have been a great opportunity for him to have a strike on target. And just in the last third, they're just not moving the ball quick enough at times. There is chances there if they can just move it just that couple of seconds quicker.
Lay off for Green. Here's O'Connor. Corley couldn't quite keep his balance, but Ledwith definitely did. Decent effort. Cherry behind it, but he conjured that out of nothing.
Great play by Ledwith there. Just does a little Cruyff turn here and he catches Gannon out. Great play. Opens it up onto his right foot, and it's a decent strike in the end. Hits the target. Nearly causes Cherry a bit of problems.
Short one aimed for Russell. Only O'Connor really in the middle. No need to wait there anymore. It's a goal kick. Seamus Keneally sprung up. 5 league appearances so far this season, but he did score in the league. Ian Barraclough utilising him for this cup final, a day in which he's really needed. Mountney.
Any straight balls today, Will, they're just going to run over the end, particularly playing this way. But I'm just looking at Richie Towell for the last couple of minutes. He's trying his best to get on the ball, and the Dundalk players just aren't giving it to him. The keeper on it there, he was looking for it, he dropped deep, and my worry is that he's actually dropping a little bit too deep at times. He's nearly gone past the centre backs to get the ball, where you'd want them nearly another 10-15 yards further up to pick up the ball, to create stuff further up the pitch.
Russell's down again. There's a free kick right in front of the dugouts here, was caught late and nonchalantly. Sligo beginning to force the issue a lot more. Great layoff, Ledwith almost connected right. And he peeled away at the far post. He's getting into the right positions now.
Great effort there. Green does exceptionally well there. Decent ball in, and he just head that back across the goal. Even not have a shot, put it back across to somebody coming in. But really good play there. Sligo are starting to come into it a little bit more now. I think in the first half, and probably even in the second half here, they're not playing exceptionally well, but they don't really need to. When you're a goal up, you can just sit in there, and you actually don't have to overstretch yourself, and you can just sort of let the opposition chase after the game. And if you just keep a good shape about yourself, which Sligo have. You look at them now, there's 9 players behind the ball.
That's a glorious ball for Mountney, but he needs support. It's coming now from Towell. What a drive. First time and almost a top corner job, and that's Dundalk's best chance of the game.
What a chance there, does exceptionally well. Mountney does really well, gets in behind, it's a good ball over the top, and he just hits it first time from Towell, and he's very unlucky there. Just shows the quality of him. It's a difficult chance from when it comes back. It's an average enough ball that's played back to him, bounces up, but he's just trying to look for that top corner there, and he's just about a foot off. But he's the key to them getting back into this game. If they can get Towell on the ball, Towell will create the chances for the wide players to get on the ball also, and there's still a lot of football to be played here.
It's another decent ball. Meenan's on the chase after it. He is found by Shields, and then very well found by Gaynor. It'll be a free kick, and Gaynor will be bugged.
He's a lucky man, Will. He should, given how many times he fouled Meenan in the first half, that should actually be a second yellow. He didn't get one in the first half, obviously, and he's just got one now. Meenan really does have the winning of that battle today. Every time he gets on the ball, he's creating chances, and he's putting Gaynor under severe pressure there. It's a late challenge.
This came across, and Darren Meenan. Ross Gaynor took him out of it. Ross Gaynor, who was in the Dundalk side that were beaten in the final here 3 years ago. Lost to Michael O'Neill's Shamrock Rovers. Meenan ex-Sligo with the Dundalk free kick. 5 waiting in the middle. It's a good ball in. There's nobody really in a white shed around the ball though. Towell. Meenan, excellent ball. Towell shoving. Free kick Sligo.
Decent 1-2, just puts it in there. Towell just pushes him on the back. Russell goes down. Good experience from Russell there. As soon as you feel the hand on the back go down, you'll get the free kick. Gary Rogers actually got caught out in the free kick there. He looked like he was going for it, and he just dropped before where he was coming towards, and the centre back McMillan helps him out with a header.
Horgan. Major weekend of finals. It's the last day of the Premier League tomorrow. Gannon. Wide for Meenan. Done well by Gaynor. Towell. It's an excellent ball with the outside of the foot by Gartlett, but again, just not too much beyond it. Hubman couldn't get there, but it's still a throw for Dundalk. Gannon's taken a quick one. Found Mountney. Found themselves crowded out in the end. Still half an hour left in this cup final. Avondale United face UCD tomorrow in the Intermediate Cup Final in Turner's Cross. And in the day's other big final in Copenhagen, there is Bohemians' interest. Don't make your cup of tea at the wrong time. Meenan. Excellent ball for Towell. Horgan. Good bit of space outside the area. They've got plenty up there. and Hoban needed a good header again, and he didn't get one. It's out for a Sligo throw.
Again, they're probing, moving the ball across the box there. Massey's on all the time. The way Sligo are playing one up top, pushing Massey on there, and he was on for probably 5 minutes before that. The ball comes across him, he just drills it in, and Hoban just can't get his head onto it. But I think the key for Dundalk here as well could be, they need to, when they're on one side of the pitch, to move the ball as quickly as they can out to the open side of the pitch, because Massey has lots of space, and vice versa on this side with Cannon.
Meenan, first time cross. Again, just needed to be a bit tougher. Well, they're getting the ball into the final third, Dundalk. Just not able to do anything with it whatsoever. Massey, and the cross was aimed towards Hoban again. Matney's getting into it a lot more up front too. No real activity in either bench so far though. Referencing the Intermediate Cup Final, if you show up a few hours earlier for the Ireland-Turkey International in a few weeks. Got the Junior Cup Final between Ballynanty and St Michael's, all Munster final. Towell tried it, good idea, again couldn't get enough behind it.
Clever idea there, he just sees Gary Rogers off the line, the execution just wasn't there. I think Rogers would have got back, just the first touch there, tries to open it up, and Rogers was back on his line, but really good idea.
Well, Ian Barraclough has told his side to go out and make history again. Said it before their semi-final. They'd never reached this decider before. They've never won it before either, and now you'll see activity at the Dundalk bench, just behind Stephen Kenny there. Curtis Byrne is going to be Dundalk's first change of the game, and it'll come very shortly. Shields. What a good ball for O'Connor, the goal scorer.
Seeing Barraclough there trying to push his team forward, and they have managed to do that. Decent ball through from Macmillan there into O'Connor, and he just doesn't manage to find Danny North. But I think the last 10 minutes previous to that, I think Sligo were sitting very, very deep and allowing Dundalk to get on the ball and move it. You can just see Ian Barraclough getting onto the back four and saying you need to push up a bit.
Dundalk are facing the corner, so they won't make the change just yet. Punched away by Cherry. It's totally missed by Meenan. Russell's got it. Russell's put it over the top. Well, the change is coming now. John Mountney's going to be withdrawn. Curtis Byrne, who scored the winner against St Pat's last season, is going to come on instead. One league goal this season. Hasn't scored in this competition, and it was the clinching goal against Limerick at Oriel Park. Started to rain again, by the way. O'Connor's cut out. Russell breaking wide, but again it was really well anticipated by Chris Shields. Corley. Millen's going to be forced into a back pass all the way back to Gary Rogers. Sligo had a platform to attack, will need to build another one. Nearly played it too long for North again. Good break by Horgan this. He's teed up for Meenan and he took too long to pull the trigger, and Shields has slid in and it'll be a Sligo throw. The chances keep mounting up for Dundalk. They're not taking them.
They're just not taking them. And again, great play by Horgan here. Gets on, breaks into the box. Byrne just lays it off. And he wasted too long. Good defending in the end from Ledwood coming across. But it's just that last pass. They're just taking that little bit too long, or trying that little bit too intricate of a pass instead of possibly just having a strike. But they really are knocking on the door. They're getting on the ball in the last third and trying to create stuff. But in fairness to Sligo's defence, they've done well so far.
Sligo's fans are now all standing up over on the far side. They've had to defend the lead for a long time. There was a handball shout on the near flank against Gaynor. So I think might have been a bit of a stretch. Good float. Hoban got the nod down, but again couldn't find Daryl Horgan. Trying to change things up front, but it hasn't yet worked. Shields will have the pace to cover that, except he didn't cover it the way he should have. That was an almighty shove. It's a free kick to Sligo and a yellow card for Chris Shields.
He had done everything there. Great tracking back. I don't know why he didn't just go for the ball instead of pushing the man. But it is a definite yellow. The two of them ran about 40 yards together there. Good battle. And you just see him pushing them there instead of just shepherding them out.
Sligo's short free kick for Russell. North hanging on the edge of the area. Ledwood was here too. I think in the circumstances that was judged as fair enough from referee Arnold Hunter. It's not been an easy day to judge challenges. Ledwood just about won that one. Here's Russell. Was in the right place. Now Towell has found Hoban. Meenan with lots of room. First time ball. Rogers thought about coming. Thought better of it. Crossed by Curtis Byrne and very little effect. And the flag is up against Danny North. Flag from Richard Storey. North was looking to time the breakaway perfectly right, and the ball, as he complained at the end from Ledwood, was too late. Gannon, superb ball for Byrne. Rogers came across. It's been given as a goal kick. Dundalk say it was a save that prevented an equaliser.
Looked like a definite save to me, Will. An absolutely great play by Gannon there. Lovely little intricate pass in behind. Good run by Byrne. You can just see here, just plays a little one. Lovely little pass in. Hits it first time. And Gary Rogers makes a great save. Definitely should have been a corner. But again, knocking on the door there. Decent chance. And it's in the last, like they're getting in behind there. Lovely ball by Gannon.
Curtis Byrne, the Dundalk substitute, will be joined by another change shortly. Well, it'll be an interesting one, because Chris Shields, who up until that yellow card a few moments ago and had a very solid game, is going off. He'll be replaced by Rory Higgins, who won this competition with Bohemians in his 1 year with the club and was runner-up with Derry at the Oval 2 seasons ago.
Surprised at that, actually. Shields was doing a decent enough job around the middle of the park. Lots of energy in there. Higgins possibly a little bit more of an attacking option.
I wonder if the yellow card made it a bit more of a liability, especially as conditions are now getting worse. North trying to latch onto it. Cherry will play.
Danny North really hasn't had any supply at all today. Can't remember any chances at all that have really fallen to him. And Sligo, again, they're just sitting deep, leaving Dundalk to have the ball and trying to just defend.
That'll need to be tended to. Major cut for Andy Boyle, the Dundalk captain. Just around a quarter of an hour wait now. It's only been won on a 1-0 scoreline twice before. Drogheda did it. And Bohemians. And at the moment Sligo are, but they're not over the line yet. Andy Boyle now being attended. North down to 10 for the moment.
Slow and laboured again from the Dundalk there. Just when a free kick happens in and around the halfway line, they're giving actually Sligo an opportunity to get back and get into 2 banks of 4, making it difficult to break them down again. You'd like to see them just put their hand on the ball and move it really quickly and try and get in behind them.
Towel again. Good support from Curtis Byrne, and the little flick by Meenan didn't come off. Towel would have got onto that too. Still being treated, Andy Boyle. It's a serious knock to the side of the face, and he's actually having to sit down now to continue it. Dundalk play on with 10. Can Sligo take advantage here? Henderson's played it up, and North was well offside.
Dundalk look, they're just getting a little bit frustrated when things aren't working out for them. Obviously the clock is running out now. But just in the last couple of minutes things aren't quite working for them, and you can see them getting a bit aggravated with each other.
Russell's launched it on, and North as the head down. It's gone out for a throw. Andy Boyle comes back on wearing number 27. His original shirt was beyond saving. Ledwith couldn't get the strike away, and there was a follow through.
Ledwith just follows through here with him. He's lucky he doesn't actually catch him worse, because that would have been awful for the player swinging through on that. Massey looks like he just got away with it just in the end.
One final change ready to be made. It's the second of the McMillans, David, to come on. Almost perfect for O'Connor again. Frustrating for Daryl Horgan. So David McMillan, recently signed from Sligo, to come on to battle against his brother Evan. He's on. Darren Meenan is off. Decent cup final, but it just hasn't been linking together up front for Dundalk or for Meenan today.
He had a good game, Meenan. Created an awful lot and really had the winning of the battle against Gaynor. But you can see Stephen Kenny just trying to mix it up, put a little bit more people up top.
Minutes and counting. Can Sligo undo the damage of that 12-minute lead from Paul O'Connor, who's on the ball here twice over? Well won by Higgins, forward by Massey. Horgan, Pacey. Rogers saves the corner though.
Like Horgan was in there, just didn't fall from. Sort of sums up the day. It looks like when a chance breaks for Dundalk, you think that they're going to have a clear shot on target, but it just doesn't develop into that. Stephen Kenny won't be giving up. He'll keep pushing his players on. He's that type of mentality. Remember when he was managing us, the amount of times you scored in the last 3 or 4 minutes with Stephen Kenny teams, and over the years he's really pushes his players to do that. So lots of football still left in this.
Managed to keep his footing for long enough. Gartland to find Towell. Couldn't pick out Curtis Byrne at the far post though.
Just not enough width there. You'd like to see Massey maybe walk back towards the touchline by 10 yards. Gannon as well on this side. See, could he just go as wide as possible, and then just that will give them space to maybe get some crosses into the box. But at the moment, everything is just that little bit too tight.
Danny North down the right-hand side. Green waiting in the middle. An important cut out by Boyle. Dundalk are going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Sligo for the final 10 minutes. Corley. He was caught. Hoban's foul. Ball was not there to be won by the Dundalk number 9.
Corley takes a big touch there. Just laying it off here, and Hoban's in a bit of frustration there. He should stay on his feet. Sligo will take as long as possible now with any sort of free kicks, and I'd be surprised if they start looking to go towards corners in the next 5 minutes.
Russell wide again for Danny Ledwith. They've only lost one of the last 8. Took a while for them to get going this season. Won just one of their first 7 games. Hit Crusaders for 5, then Pats for 5, UCD for 5, and they haven't looked back. Climbed their way up to 5th place in the league table. And Hoban there certainly shouldn't have looked back.
Decent ball by Byrne just over the top there, just that little bit too far for Hoban. Tries his best to take it down, but probably a foot too long.
Glorious chest by North, waiting for the return, and he wanted it quickly, and he didn't get it. beyond O'Connor. Conditions haven't helped. It's been an edge of the seat game, not a classic. Curtis Byrne has launched it long. What a glorious ball. Big opening for David McMillan. What a chance that was. Rogers did enough as Dundalk try and draw themselves level in the final 6 minutes.
Fantastic ball there with Byrne just over the top. McMillan just throws his leg at it, just trying to chip it over Rogers, and it's an excellent save in the end.
Well, that corner was held up mid-air by the strong gust which suddenly blew round this stadium. And we've another deluge now. Won't be the last of the night. Glorious chance with David McMillan, well found by Curtis Byrne, and he managed to get in ahead of his brother Evan. Excellent first time volley, and what a fine save. So important by Gary Rogers.
He did everything right there, just watched the ball over his shoulder, just threw his foot at it, and in fairness to Rogers, fantastic save. What a chance though.
Rogers won't be given a lot of time. It's not the kind of day to try and perfect your ball control in your own area, but he got away with it. Sligo lead by 1-0 with 5 minutes remaining. Aimed over the top towards David McMillan again. Henderson with the cutout. Very well done, Gary Rogers, because some of the best have tried that and have fallen flat on their faces. And the rain is now blowing directly into this east stand, all the way to the back. It's just about horizontal. At least there is some heat in this stand though. Rogers has to come out and had to make proper contact with that this time. He's had to think on his feet the last few minutes, Gary Rogers, and he might have to again here. It's Henderson who's had a fine cup final. What a win by Towell though. Controlled by Hoban. Out wide for Massey, the left back.
Probably some of the worst conditions I've seen in a long, long time, Will. I haven't seen rain like this, or certainly played in it for years.
I don't think we've seen weather this bad since that game we were at last year that got called off. Kazotspor against Drogheda. That was bad. Didn't even get underway. Well, a stop for Russell in the end. And David McMillan has had a swing and has gone right up in the air. And now it's 2 against 2, and it's Russell breaking down the right-hand side. He's got North for company, he's got Ledwood there too, and the ball stopped in a puddle. And I'll tell you something, if this goes to extra time, I don't know if we'll be able to finish this final. It's getting worse, much worse, and the ball is holding up. There are puddles everywhere. And there are so many from Dundalk who's urging this game into extra time. But I have a feeling if we go to extra time, we won't see the end of it.
last chance now for Dundalk. Get the balls forward as quickly as possible. In fairness to Sligo, they defended well at times. 2 banks of 4, got behind the ball, and you can see Barraclough all through the second half asking to push up. But at times they just stayed deep and made it difficult for Dundalk. Dundalk have played everything down the middle instead of going wide, and they've just done enough and defended very well at times.
I believe we'll have 3 added minutes. It's been taken by Gannon. It's one to throw for Dundalk. Sean Gannon's had to go and get the ball himself. The only ball boy you'd have now is Russell Crowe. Towels cross, good delivery. Gartland was in there. And the 3 minutes of added time start now. Here's Danny North. And it's 3 against the rest here. And North has found Russell. The ball's being held up in the puddles. Russell tries to keep going. And he is still going. And he'll try and spend as much time in the corner as he can, but just look at this. Every footstep is yielding a massive puddle. This is a farce, and it is nothing less than that now. Well, the rain is... I've never seen anything like this. For a major cup final, it is extreme.
You literally cannot run with the ball now. There's puddles literally every part of the pitch now. You see the handball there. But it actually came from Mattel, who tried to pass the ball to Gartland, and it just caught up in a puddle. And again there, look, it's a shambles, isn't it?
Towel is soaked. Everybody there is. Danny North, chance to come through. There is support waiting in the middle, and it was arriving there from Russell. This is extraordinary. If you've got plans tonight, cancel them, stay inside. Can Dundalk force extra time? And the way things are going, extra time will be played in June. The final whistle! I think it's gone a minute early. Sligo Rovers are the All-Ireland champions for the first time. Sligo celebrate, Dundalk remonstrate, but the Bitter Red have pulled off one of their greatest successes. The league title in 2012, 3 cups in 4 seasons, the League Cup in 2010, and now in 2014, in an utter deluge, the Setanta Sports Cup is theirs. It was a fine victory, and in the end it was an absolutely weird one.
Strangest into a game I can recall. I haven't seen a game to be like this, a pitch to turn out like this in the space of 10 minutes, really, wasn't it?
Big question for you. Who's your man of the match for the cup final?
I think when I was looking at Dundalk, from a Dundalk perspective, they did very well, just not enough. I think Horgan was excellent, Meenan was excellent, but I think it was a defensive performance from Sligo that won them the cup today. And Henderson at the back, my man of the match today, he was excellent. Marshal the troops, very calm head as well. And when all the ball was coming to the box and Dundalk were putting under a lot of pressure, Henderson did very well to defend against it, and he's the man of the match tonight.
Well, Ian Henderson, for a moment, I'm sure, didn't realise the final whistle had gone, and it was announced as 3 minutes, but only 1 minute 58 were played.
But I think, Will, when you look at Sligo today, they actually haven't played exceptionally well or anything to win the game, but that's cup finals for you. Sometimes if you get that goal up, what was it, 14 minutes they got the goal, you actually don't have to play very well after that. If you just get a good defensive shape, it's up to the opposition then to try and break you down. And unfortunately for Dundalk today, they just didn't have enough to do that.
Well, defeat for Stephen Kenny, but joy for Jeff Henderson. He's the man of the match. He's with Darren.
Jeff, All-Ireland champions, how does that one sound to you?
Brilliant.
You're made work very, very hard for it though.
Yeah, well, I think we showed we could play we played well in the first half with the ball, and we showed we can stick as a unit together and defend and keep a lead, and we're hoping to counter and get them on the counter-attack second half, but we stuck together and we've seen it out. And that help from the rain.
And that Sligo Rovers passing game, near impossible in this kind of weather.
Well, you can see how heavy the pitch is. In the last minute there, it wasn't going anywhere, so you just have to put in the corners, manage the game, see it out.
And what does it mean to the players to add this title to the CV? All-Ireland champions, Setanta Cup winners 2014.
It's brilliant, that's what you play football for. The club's never won it before, so this group of players here is the first.
Ian Barraclough, we'll bring you in. This is the one you always wanted to win. You've added to the trophy cabinet now the Setanta Cup, adding to the FAI Cup and the League Cup.
We talk about creating history. We've said it all along. No Sligo Rovers team has ever won this competition. We can now say we've won an All-Ireland competition, and the whole group has worked so hard. The whole group, footballing wise, the whole group off the pitch, the supporters out there, all for them, because we work so hard and we all stay together. We try and stay as a group.
And when you have a team like Dundalk who have so much talent and creativity, to keep them scoreless for 90 minutes, it's no mean feat.
Correct, but that means you've also got talent yourself. We had to dig deep at times. It wasn't pretty second half, and we went and worked so hard for it. It wasn't great. I've lost my voice for shads. I'm never normally like that, but I think to everybody they deserve to go and get a trophy, a major trophy like this, and we want to enjoy it.
Defensively, to stay focused and keep your discipline for so long, particularly in those conditions, very, very hard for your guys. You stuck it out and managed to do it though.
It's what you do on the training pitch. It's what you do. You put the hard hours in. You know each other's game. You know what's required at times. We say don't panic, so we're calm. I probably wasn't as calm as what I should be on the sideline there, but the players certainly did, and all credit to them.
You prepare on the training pitch, but surely not for something like this?
No, you don't. No, you have to play the conditions. We're talking about playing the conditions, and it's not right to go and dribble with it. I was desperate for us to just go and pass it and keep the ball moving.
Ian, thank you very much. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
2 years and 2 months after his first competitive game in charge of Sligo, and he's won 3 of the 4 major trophies in the Irish game. It's runners-up medals for Dundalk, their second Setanta Sports Cup Final, their second defeat. They haven't won an All-Ireland final since 1942.